Sitting here and we're talking with Rebecca Hansen and Michelle Kilmer. I did it right? Yes, I did it right. And they are wonderful girls that write beautifully horrible stories that everyone should read. And we're going to talk to them about that. So let's see. So you both wrote in the spread here. Can you guys tell us a little bit about it?
We did. Initially, Michelle had put out her novel and then kind of got this itch to write after she self-published. And
well, I was on an island, and the first story in that takes place on an island.
Yeah.
So I started writing it, but then we started working on it.
Then I jumped on the bandwagon, and we thought it would be really cool. I don't think we've ever, I don't know, there might be a book out there written by twin sisters together, but I thought it'd be really cool for us to do a joint venture, and we had a lot of fun writing it. We equally wrote chapters, and then we worked separately on it, and then together, but overall we then went through the entire thing and kind of
a lot
made
of nights at Panera.
Yeah, Panera
over
bread.
a computer together, rereading and rereading. And, yeah.
So it was a really fun thing to do. It was the first time we've ever done something like that, and I think overall, as a short story collection, it's highly entertaining.
And all the stories are written by the two of you, or
Yes, just us.
Just us.
Just our brains.
do they all take place in the same world, or?
It is the same world, and it's actually the same plague in the same world as my novel When the Dead, but it kind of travels more. It's called The Spread, so it moves from place to place. It starts in the San Juans, and then comes mainland on a ferry, like we all do, and then and then spreads quickly, just kind of down the I-5 corridor. So it's local, the North Seattle area still, just like
We're local girls.
Yes.
And we're Pacific Northwest,
Yeah.
Washington, Seattle is our home. So we write about what we know and what we love.
And also it probably would spread to the rest of the world. We just haven't gotten there.
We just like
we just like the book before it.
We like to let everyone know that it starts
line.
here.
Yeah.
So stay tuned because there'll be a number 2.
Someone suggested that actually, a number 2 for The Spread. So
We've talked about it recently.
Spread further.
Yeah. The spread continued.
Spreading.
Ellipses.
More spreading.
Right on. So what's
When the Dead. When the Dead is my first novel. I wrote it over a very long time. I wrote it over 6 years because I wasn't initially trying to write a novel, but Becky and I watched a lot of horror and zombie movies specifically, and I just started getting ideas about things we weren't seeing in the genre, and then scenes, and then originally it was a book with rules, but then Zombieland came out and I had to kill the idea because someone did it first, which was heartbreaking. But in the end it actually became something much better, totally different story than I started with. It's a group of people in North Seattle in a secured access apartment complex who think they'll be safe enough. So in movies and stuff, everyone always tries to find somewhere safer, but they think they'll be all right, and they find out that they don't know their neighbors as well as they thought, and plus zombies.
Enter zombies.
Yes, enter zombies and pressure cooker type situation. But it was inspired because I live
She lives in
a secured access building with like tons of people that I never see anyone. And when I do,
I get scared.
Nobody wants to talk to anybody, and it's just we just live our own life so much, and we're really not about that the way we want to talk to people and be friends and just share. And so it's a kind of social commentary on my living situation.
It's actually quite scary when you do see someone, like when the elevator door opens and then actually someone's there.
It's
because
frightening.
It's very empty feeling. But there's actually hundreds and hundreds of people that live in this building. So
never. It's just there's tons of people in there. It's just a ghost town.
She may even actually have written about her neighbors.
I don't know. I'm speculating.
They might fall into place very well.
Herschel Experience.
Find yourself in this book.
So, what's the main premise though?
The main premise is. I guess to sum it up is, and there's a line at the end, but I can't say it because it's beautiful, and read the book. Buy the book, but the main premise is that before a devastating plague or anything, there's so much evil in the world already, and we can't even handle that.
And then,
Yeah, so yeah, there's so many people who are like, oh, it'd be so cool.
It's like you think zombies
stuff,
are the
but
issue, you think zombies are the problem, well, here's this too.
the issue is that we don't know who we live next door to, and we don't care to.
And how safe are we really?
Yeah.
We don't know. No idea.
It's, yeah.
Everyone just got goosebumps. It just got cold
Big
in here.
social commentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about opening up the world again.
And When the Dead's also much more serious. It's very dark. You know, the writing that we do is very dark.
It's not a Hollywood ending.
It's not a Hollywood ending. But When the Dead's much
Hollywood
more.
ending's not.
I love this. Stay away from the typical Hollywood. I love not.
Yeah.
Following regular.
But they're both dark. When the Dead's very emotional, and The Spread, though dark, is very humorous. Michelle and I.
But yeah, you can tell. I mean,
You can tell
that we wrote it.
we
if
wrote
you spent
that.
time talking to us, and the way we play off of each other because we've
Been
together
together
our
since
whole lives.
the
And
womb.
yeah, it's a comedy act we've had years to respect.
Years
Came
in
into the
making.
world together. They make them
Hopefully not at each other's hands.
So you have a lot of dark humor in The Spread.
Yeah.
Versus the much more serious and
There's still
emotional.
gore though. There's one of the chapters has a nude elderly man who's a zombie. You know, there's still like things that are like ugh, you know. But there's also moments where you're just laughing your head off.
Yeah.
And so it's a good roller coaster.
Up and down.
Yeah.
And in The Spread too, you have basically the virus being that main character, and as it spreads through from chapter to chapter, the ways in which people are infected are not your typical.
It's not just bites.
It's not just bites. We had to ponder for quite some time.
What are all the ways that you
What are the
could-
ways you could become infected?
Yeah, I mean, there's germs everywhere.
There's
anyway.
germs everywhere.
And now there's a super germ in this book, and like how just unfortunate ways that you could come into contact with it, the ways you wouldn't
Literally,
expect.
the
or
choice
know to
of
watch out for.
touching your finger to your mouth. I mean, that's not really an example in the book, but one
Because
tiny
then you have to
thing
read the book.
you don't think of that ultimately infects you.
I can give one example. There's a little girl who puts something in her mouth.
Because kids do that.
They see
do it.
something, that's how they test, that's how they interact, and it is edible, but where it came from in the story before,
Was
Yeah.
coded in.
yeah, it's just,
Okay. Ooh.
yeah, each
Yeah.
chapter is its own little vignette, but they're connected, these little bits, little things that happen that spread the plague.
So you can read it actually, what we suggest anyways, reading it from front to back as a story. But then you can also pick it up anytime and read specific short stories. Because they are all actually written individually as short stories. And we then drew this map of, this comes here, this goes there, these people drive past each other, like there's just these connections, and that's how the virus spread. So it was a good one to put together.
Right on. So is there, what else is out there that we can read?
Out there, the other book that's on our booth here at Crypticon, it's just a little, it looks like a pamphlet.
It's a promotional brochure.
A very expensive pamphlet.
For propane tanks.
Yeah, and it's a short story that I can't say much about just because it gives it away, but it's a Crypticon anthology selection, so it made it into that with the writing contest. There is a book that I don't want to say the title because it's not done yet.
There is a book in the making. She will be putting out she'll be putting out a novel hopefully within this year.
By the end of the summer.
By the end of the summer, hopefully there will be another one, and it's zombie related, but it's completely different from what we've already put out for When the Dead Bugs.
It's told in reverse chronological order.
It's basically the apocalypse in rewind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
that's interesting.
and then recently I just started gathering together bits of writing that are non-zombie but still fantastical or sci-fi or horror, and a little bit of comedy too, and putting them into a writing collection, and that is going to come out. I want to release it on Halloween because it's very.
And that's actually going to include a ton of local artists. They're all going to do
Illustrations.
their own illustrations for each story
or poem
in
or,
that book.
Yeah.
So So
Local artists.
local
Okay.
people we know, people that we
Technically,
con with,
artists on my friends list.
who are willing to donate drawings.
A couple of them are actually here. And that one's called Last Night While You Were Sleeping, and it's just a writing collection of my stuff.
Yeah. I currently do not have anything else out. I used to do press for a website, so I was there. My writing's on the internet somewhere, floating around. It's all over the interwebs. But I've been tossing around ideas for something that's still horror. It has nothing to do with zombies, and that's something that we're kind of branching out from. Still death, still horrible things, and that's basically in the very, very early stages. So no date.
Okay.
No date as of now.
Release
Keep our
date,
eyes
your
peeled.
lifetime.
Maybe 6 years, like Michelle's first one. I don't know.
At the rate you're going.
Basically 6 years. Basically.
6 years.
After that part of that, so I'm surprised I made it today. So we've got The Spread, a zombie short story collection by both Michelle and Rebecca, and Win the Dead by Michelle. And you can get them both now. Where can we get them?
Amazon.
Amazon.
They are
Amazon.
for
Okay.
sale in
Ebook.
paperback and ebook.
Paperback.
And then whenthedead.com. You can also go there, and the links will take you directly to the.
And actually, I'm taking auditions on ACX, which is an audio company that publishes to Amazon, to hopefully have Win the Dead an audiobook.
So someone can read it to you,
It's you can listen to someone's voice.
besides strapping a big guy to your back with duct tape. Siege.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys should definitely pick these up, and we will be reviewing these soon too, so you'll be able to hear what we have to say about them.
Hopefully not horrible things.
I don't
Speak from the heart.
Dude,
Whatever that
we
is.
only tell the truth.
nothing but the truth.
My soon-to-be
Right hand.
tagline for our site will be "Sci-Fi monkeys throw in poo if we have to."
Oh, I like that.
It's really good.
Everyone's got to throw a little poo every once in a while.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys coming